big complaint on the song against Paul on your album, though, when I played it that night, was that you had no sense of humor.
Well,
that was a lot of people called. So what happened to his sense of humor? Where's his sense of levity?
I think one of the funniest lines on that song, I'm sure Paul will understand it, and George does, and so do I, that song is another thing like that letter. It's just a moment of anger, but I just put it down on paper. I'm also answering Paul's last album, which most of you, because he didn't hand out a lyric sheet, don't know what he was saying. It starts off with too many people going underground. That was your first mistake. And the first mistake bit is referring to us and all the others.
About you, isn't it?
Yeah,
about you took your lucky break and broke it in two. Now, if that doesn't mean what it says, I don't know what. Also, the song ends, we believe that we can't be wrong. So I wrote a reciprocal song. And I think that some of the funniest lines on the album are, the biggest thing, whatever it had done was yesterday, and it was actually Klein's line, one line of it, and since you've gone, you're just another day. I think it's the funniest thing I've ever heard. I don't think that about Paul all my life, or all the time. I wrote it in an immediate response to when I heard his messages coming off his album, you know.
Did you think it was
You
funny?
mightn't hear him, but I can hear him, and
no,
I know
that particular
Paul.
song I didn't think was funny, but from knowing you now, I know that that's not how you feel all the time.
It's an angry song, like
not the serious anger.
it's not serious.
Sort
Like
of like
Paul
a
is really hurt by it. I'll know by the vibes come round, even if he doesn't call. Well, I'll explain it to him. I'll even write to him, you know, if he really thinks
kidding a little, you know.
Thinks it's really
come
serious.
on, you know, that kind of thing.
But I think it's quite funny, and I was laughing when we were making it and listening to it. You know. But I was laughing at his later. But at first I was thinking, oh, I see. Oh, that's what he thinks. You know, huffing and puffing. That's the first thing I heard on his album was all this, this message. You see,
John and Paul are very close to each other, and when they're doing the session and all that, they used to always sort of kid each other with pretty, you know, sort of words that may sound harsh to other people objectively, you know what I mean? So I think it would have sounded very different to Paul, you know.
We never tittled each other gently.
You know?
I didn't know that.
Like slapping your back bit, you know, that kind of humor, I think.